so long is like alchemy.
The Celtics are about done, right? Lost 5 of 6. Kyrie no longer engaged with his teammates. Finally in Oakland for the second game in this series. He and KD, I don't know if they busted each other's cheeks last night or what, but KD didn't seem to be too engaged in this game. No Klay Thompson, still out with the sore knee, so it was Alfonso McKinney starting at this 2-guard spot. Wasn't a big fan of that. You already knew what Boston was going to do. They were going to attack Boogie. It's Kyrie with the early step-back jumper. Now, I'm running this clip because look at the strap on Steph's right knee. I don't know what that's about, but about a few minutes into the game, he ended up taking that strap or tape off his right knee, just something to make note of. But here's the real problem with this pick and roll and attacking DeMarcus. It's not just DeMarcus. Look at the help. Everybody is overreacting and over-helping to DeMarcus on defense, so it's completely imploding our defense. Live watching this, you know, I kind of felt like Boston got really hot, but then on my second watch, like watch this, Draymond shouldn't be getting beat backdoor like that. Now he recovers and gets the block, but the level of alertness and awareness to start the game, it was the same trend that we've seen this last month, spotting teams double digits. This is what I talk about a bit of luck here. Marcus Smart with pull-up threes off screens, that's something that you tend to live with. Boogie plays the defense and then falls asleep, and it's a slashing Jason Tatum. And to be honest with y'all, this McKinney thing, it may have backfired on us. Remember how I was really not hot on him getting that roster spot? And then I ate crow and was like, wow, he's shooting threes. Look at his rebounding, right? But my initial thoughts with him was his IQ. That was my worry. And now that his three-point shooting has come back down to earth, he's lost a bit of confidence. We're really starting to see his warts right when we need him most. So out of the timeout, 11-0, they go to head knock. But Boston, Marcus Smart, let's credit Boston. I mean, as bad as the Warriors played, Boston played really well. So it was a perfect storm of events. I did think Steph was engaged. I thought Steph's defense was decent. There's Draymond transition. So they quickly went to Damian Lee, who frankly should have started over McKinney because we just need that spacing. Neither of them is going to stop anybody. You might as well take the better shooter. Steph gets a quick 3 here. My question, I guess, is at what point does the team change their approach to starting games? Because I'm tired of spotting double-digit leads. DeMarcus, let's all be honest here. I'm not going to tell you something you guys don't know. He probably shouldn't have played in this game much at all, let alone start the game. The way they were exploiting him, the juice definitely wasn't worth the squeeze in this. Draymond, he hits the 3 off the Boogie pass. The honeymoon phase with Boogie is definitely dead and gone. Remember how everybody's effort ramped up when Boogie came in to make up? I had to show a Baines 3. It's so ugly, I had to show it. But everybody's effort ramped up when Boogie started. Now I think it's more discouraging because it's like they know there's a gaping hole in their defense, and it's made guys, I know I've been guilty of it, playing pickup game where you just have a matchup that's just so bad that it just discourages you from playing. You know what I mean? You're like, oh man, there's just nothing we can do, right? Kyrie moved the ball in this. It was no coincidence that Boston had one of their best games of the season and Kyrie wasn't ball dominant. Now, the other aspect of this is watch Kyrie come off this. He's so much more confident knowing DeMarcus is on the other end of that screen rather than someone like an Iguodala or a Draymond that's going to challenge that 3 better. So finally, we get a look at bald Iguodala finally letting it go. Big old chrome dome in there. I thought it was Mo Spates on a diet. But there's Damian Lee with the mid-range jumper, and you're like, all right, we've spotted them 10. Let's climb back in this. Brad Stevens would not let any kind of run go at Oracle. He repeatedly called timeouts. Quinn Cook, the 2 Duke alumni, no chance. Durant usually finishes first quarter strong for us. Here's a rare Boston turnover, and he pushes this thing coast to coast. He took several nasty falls in this game, but like I said, I'm going to stand on that. This is the worst game I've seen Durant play as a Warrior, without question. There's the travel. When do you see that? But let's give credit to Boston for being pesty. They've got a lot of guards who get into your space, invade your space, and try to speed you up. Jaylen Brown, very physical, but look at that. Comes up short. You're just seeing very uncharacteristic plays from Durant, and then Iguodala is about 2 feet wide of making that shot to end the first. And you're like, oh, this is what we doing tonight? This is what we doing? Second quarter, take a look at this lineup. Iguodala, Draymond, Quinn Cook, and yes, the rookie Jacob Evans in there. I know no Looney, no Clay, but you could tell Kerr was playing this thing like a preseason football game. I don't think he wanted to show Brad Stevens any type of looks or schemes that he may have in store. I truly do believe that, but take a look at this offensive possession. Like, this shit is ugly. and it was just very discouraging. And we circle these type of games as fans. It's like, oh, this is a big fun game here because there's not too many of them, and then they come out repeatedly and disappoint us. As Gordon Hayward, did he have his Utah jersey on? It sure felt like it. Steph, like I had mentioned, I thought he was ready to go. And I thought if he would have got any type of help and this game could have got at all competitive, we could have seen a light show from Steph to bring us back. But the level of defense we played in this game, look at this, didn't give us, or I should say, give Steph a chance to play hero. And let's be real here. If this was the NBA Finals, I don't think DeMarcus would be playing. Like, he may come in for spot minutes against Bane, but he definitely ain't starting, and he definitely ain't being featured. Again, though, there's something to be said about them being really hot. Like, they couldn't miss, but I think attacking Boogie and having good looks early on ignited that. Jerebko just can't buy a bucket, and I'll show you a sequence here. He misses that three. Look at the rookie, though, on the offensive glass. Evans wasn't aware he was called up. I saw some good things from him in the spot minutes, and you're going to see Draymond perfectly double team this and get us out in transition. Repko will finish this off, but you look at Repko and McKinney, who gave us so much early on, have both disappeared. Watch McKinney on this defensive possession. This is just unacceptable, and I don't know if you can teach this. I think he's just slow. Like, I'm not even going front. He looks a little caveman-y, right? He's just a little slow. Jaylen Brown, the Cal product with the tomahawk. Then he rips through on McKinney. No chance at all. Now remember, Jerebko couldn't hit the corner three. I felt like he hasn't hit a corner three since the beginning of the season, so now he passes it up. Boston swarms, and it turns into a turnover. He does a good job. He hustles back into this play and gets a block. Like, I'm still holding out hopes that Jerebko can find his legs and his confidence and contribute. But with McKinney, like I said, it's a mental thing. It's a brain capacity thing. And that's going to be problematic as teams dial in and exploit mismatches more and more towards the playoffs. Oh, yeah, and then, by the way, there was no home whistle on this night either. There was a couple bang-bang plays that all went Boston's way. This one wasn't even a bang-bang play. This was just a terrible play. That's offensive, if anything. Watch Curry get frustrated with Bell here because he doesn't know the set that they want to run. Look, very rarely do you see Steph show frustration, and then it's going to be a lackadaisical drive here from Durant to the rim. And maybe KD subconsciously didn't want to beat his boyfriend again. You know, he wanted to let Kyrie hold a dub against him for once. But whatever it was a disgusting display from Durant on this Tuesday night. Kyrie, that's just too easy. Damian Lee, McKinney, Boogie, when you've got three minus defenders playing heavy minutes against a hungry, desperate team, these are the type of results you're going to get. They were quicker to the ball. And then what bugged me about this Hayward output was run him off the line. We all know he doesn't trust the ankle yet. Make him a slasher. If you're just letting him shoot practice spot up threes, yeah, he's going to knock those down. And then it built his confidence to where he started finishing at the rim. So Boston playing extremely well, very desperate. The Warriors half-ass effort, along with Kerr and his Popovillian style of rotations, led to this massacre. More Durant, more just disgusting effort here. Watch him lose Hayward on the back door, and you can see how unexplosive he is in the paint. Mind you, I kept saying, force him off the line. And then is this like some sort of 2K animation? Look at KD kind of slide out of the way there for Smart to get this off at the half. Start the second half. Let's go to Steph or KD right now. Let's force feed Boogie, and he gets roofed from young Tatum. And, missing Clay was very apparent, but at the same time, it wouldn't have mattered in this. Look at McKinney here. McKinney's guarding Tatum. That's his guy, right? And that's what I'm talking about, man. You can't put that on Boogie. That's McKinney. And when you see a play like that as a coach or as a player, it's one of those moments where you're like, I'm not going to be able to play him. I'm not going to be able to play him in meaningful games. That's just the reality of the situation. I would have loved for Kerr to have sat Durant. Now, I know he can't do it because it would have just been an media explosion, but Durant deserved to be benched in this. Look at Tatum with that late closeout. It's no coincidence. They are very good at challenging threes. That's the way they're designed. Marcus Smart, he should really be their point guard. But look at when Kyrie's pulling offensive boards on you, come on, man. Come on, man. I'm tired of doing this damn highlight. This shit disgusts me. Now, let's hold it right here. Draymond, what are you doing? Like, Draymond is way out of pocket on this. Morris, that's a practice shot. watch McKinney just get destroyed on this, like he just gets pulverized. And Draymond, you know, there's the end when I know Draymond's intentions are good with the help defense, but he's got to have a little more trust in some of his teammates, not named Alfonso McKinney. More Boogie. This time, I guess I will say this about DeMarcus. He's starting to pass out of the doubles a little more, and Steph rewards him with the 3-ball. More Kevin Durant on the break, two-handed roofed. Watch Steph here, though. I don't want to be completely negative. I thought Steph played good defense. The good closeout, right hand. And he was engaged, and he seemed like he wanted to match up with Kyrie. He was just never really given the opportunity. Considering the shit show this turned into so quickly, you could tell the second half they wanted to outlet and get the ball out quickly because they didn't want Boston's defense to set up at all. Watch Bell, though, on this next possession. It's funny because when he has a lack of effort, it's much more apparent because when we see him have maximum effort, it's so apparent, right? When there's a high motor guy like Bell, when he doesn't give effort, it's magnified, because he usually gives such effort. There's Hayward continuing to accept his free gifts from the Warriors on this Tuesday night. Damian Lee this time, and at least Lee, I think with Lee, it's physical. Like he can't run and jump and guard people. With McKinney, it's mental, so I'd rather Lee be out there given he's the better shooter and he may not make as many mental errors. Kyrie takes the charge. He had a nice point guardy type game, and so fourth quarter, it's DeMarcus time. And I thought it was funny that Kerr kind of left him out there with the scrubs in extendo garbage time, but this is what you risk. He's already frustrated. He's out there with the bench mob, and things get a little testy here with him and Baines, and you know Scary Terry wants that smoke. With no Clay, Livingston, or Looney, the lack of depth has been alarming. I'll leave you with Jacob Evans. Remember our first round pick. He looks a lot better, man. I know this is extended garbage time, but his body language, his confidence in that pull on these two jumpers was very promising. I know I spent this whole highlight complaining about McKinney and his defense, but Jacob Evans is already a much better defender than McKinney. If he can give us some open shooting, maybe, just maybe, these final 20 games or so, Jacob Evans could somehow find his way onto this roster and into the back end of this rotation. Steve Kerr always all smiles when he gets his teeth kicked in. I don't know what that's about. And then I can't front. This absolutely disgusted me. Look at this dude. He's been grouchy and angry and disengaged with this squad for how many weeks? And now he's all smiles, chumming it up with Tatum and Kyrie after they beat us with the biggest margin in the Kerr era at home. I didn't say that right, but you know what I'm saying. Look at this shit. I've defended KD through a lot of this. I'm ready to say fuck Slim. I'm going to hit a YouTube video and talk a little more big picture. I'm out, y'all.
I've been winning so long, it's like alchemy.